A nobleman's wails of hunger echoed through a crumbling castle as William de Warenne faced a doom worse than steel. Betrayed by his own ambition, cursed by starvation in 1147. Once a loyal ally of Empress Matilda, his treachery during the Anarchy unleashed a relentless siege that devoured his flesh and soul. How did a knight's honor turn to a nightmare of decay and despair? Step into the shadow-drenched battlefields of 12th century England with tales of torment, where we unveil a truth darker than any royal feud. The siege looms, its hunger ready to claim a traitor's life. Dare to witness the abyss. In the crisp autumn of 1119, a child was born into the rolling hills of Sussex, a land of Norman castles and fertile fields. William de Warenne, 3rd Earl of Surrey, grew amidst the clatter of steel and the chants of Latin hymns, his early years shaped by a father who served King Henry I with unwavering loyalty. Tall and broad, with a mane of dark hair and eyes that gleamed with ambition, William trained in the arts of war from age 8, his swordplay a dance of precision under the tutelage of seasoned knights. By his 20s, he was a lord of repute, his estate sprawling from Lewes Castle to vast woodlands, his banner a symbol of Norman strength in a fractured England. In 1135, Henry I's death plunged the realm into the Anarchy, a civil war between his daughter Matilda, Empress of the Holy Roman Empire, and his nephew Stephen, who seized the throne. William pledged his sword to Matilda, her claim bolstered by her father's will, her court a beacon of hope against Stephen's usurpation. In 1139, Matilda landed at Arundel, and William rode beside her, his cavalry cutting through Stephen's lines, his loyalty a shield in the chaos of battle. He hosted her at Lewes, his halls filled with strategists and priests, his voice raised in council to secure her crown. Yet beneath his noble facade, ambition stirred. Stephen's forces grew stronger, his bribes tempting weaker lords, and William's estate suffered under the war's toll. Crops burned, villages pillaged, his wealth dwindling. In 1141, at the Battle of Lincoln, Matilda's victory seemed assured. But William wavered, his gaze turning to Stephen's offers of land and titles. The tide turned at Westminster that year, Stephen's recapture shifting power, and William, fearing loss, betrayed Matilda, opening Lewes gates to Stephen's men. His treachery handed her a crushing defeat, her army scattered, her dream of queenship dashed. Matilda fled to Oxford, her curses ringing in William's ears, her words a prophecy of doom. Stephen rewarded him with temporary favour, but the betrayal gnawed at William's soul, his knights whispering of a curse, his people shunning his name. In 1146, Matilda's forces, led by her half-brother Robert of Gloucester, besieged William's castle at Pevensey. Their siege, a relentless punishment for his disloyalty. A chronicler noted, "The Earl's blade turned against his queen, his honour drowned in the mire of greed, a traitor's fate sealed by his own hand." By the harsh winter of 1146, Pevensey Castle stood under a siege that would become William de Warenne's living hell, its stone walls trembling under Matilda's relentless assault. The castle, perched on a windswept headland, was a fortress of Norman might. Its towers, once a symbol of his power, now a trap closing around his treachery. Matilda's forces, bolstered by Robert of Gloucester's cunning, encircled the keep, their catapults hurling stones that shattered the battlements, their archers raining arrows that pinned William's men to the walls. The siege stretched into months, the sea's roar a constant companion, cutting off supplies as winter deepened. William's stores dwindled, barrels of grain emptied, livestock slaughtered, his hall filled with the stench of decay. His knights, once proud, grew gaunt, their armour hanging loose, their spirits broken by hunger's gnawing bite. The curse Matilda had spoken, her voice a thunderclap of rage, seemed to take root, whispers of divine retribution spreading among the besieged. William rationed meagre scraps, stale bread, mouldy cheese, water tainted by the moat, his own meals reduced to crusts he shared with his hounds, their ribs protruding like his own. Nightmares plagued him, visions of Becket's bloodied altar merging with Matilda's scornful gaze, her words echoing, "Your betrayal will rot your bones." By 1147, the castle's air grew thick with desperation, men gnawing leather straps, their eyes hollow with starvation. Disease crept in, dysentery from fouled water, fevers from unwashed wounds, claiming soldiers in droves, their bodies piled in the courtyard, a grim testament to the siege's toll. William's skin yellowed, his joints swelled, his once strong frame wasting away as the curse tightened its grip. He scratched prayers into the stone, his iron cross dangling from a neck now skeletal. But no relief came, the church deaf to a traitor's pleas. His wife, Beatrice, fled with their children, leaving him to face the doom alone, her departure a final blow to his crumbling spirit. The besiegers taunted him, their voices carrying over the walls. "The Earl's greed feeds the worms," a chronicler noted. Pevensey became a tomb, its lord a prisoner of his own sin, the curse a shadow that devoured his hope. In the bleak spring of 1147, William de Warenne's collapse loomed, his body a ruin under the siege's merciless weight. Pevensey Castle, once a bastion of Norman pride, stood as a skeletal shell, its walls cracked, its halls silent save for the groans of the dying. At 28, William was a shadow of the knight who betrayed Matilda, his dark hair thinned to wisps, his skin a patchwork of sores that oozed with a rancid stench, his eyes sunken in a face gaunt with hunger. The disease, likely scurvy or a festering plague, ravaged him. His gums bled, his teeth loosened, his legs buckled under his weight, his every step a torment. He crawled to the chapel, its altar a mockery of the one he defiled at Canterbury, his prayers a rasp for mercy that faded into the damp air. The castle's silence was broken only by the drip of water and the skittering of rats feasting on the dead. His solitude a punishment as cruel as any blade. On a rain-soaked night in April, his agony peaked, his body racked with convulsions, his sores bursting with pus, his screams a haunting dirge that carried beyond the walls. A lone servant, too weak to flee, found him sprawled on the chapel floor, his broken sword clutched in a trembling hand, his face contorted in a final grimace of pain. The servant recorded his last words, "Matilda, forgive me." A whisper lost to the storm, his breath fading as the curse claimed its final victory. His body was left unburied for days, the besiegers refusing to enter, fearing the curse, until Matilda's forces breached the gates and found him, a corpse swollen with decay. They dragged him to a pit outside the castle. No shroud, no rites, his remains a warning to traitors, swallowed by the earth. The castle fell to ruin, its halls echoing with ghostly moans. Locals claiming Matilda's spirit lingered, her vengeance a chill that settled over the land. A chronicler wrote, "William's end was a feast for worms, the curse's final stroke upon a knight's broken oath." William de Warenne's grim fate left a scar on England's medieval tapestry, his name a whisper of dread that outlasted his unmarked grave. Matilda's victory in the Anarchy, secured after his fall, elevated her to a symbol of resilience, her claim to the throne passing to her son Henry II in 1154, while William's treachery faded into infamy. The church seized his lands, their wealth funding Canterbury's restoration, yet his betrayal birthed a legend, tales of a cursed earl whose castle became a haunt of ghostly retribution. No songs honored his early valor, no banners waved his name, but his story spread through villages and monasteries, a warning of loyalty shattered by greed. The curse's toll, his starved body, his agonizing death, became a moral tale, preached to knights as a lesson in fidelity to their liege. His connection to Matilda, once a bond, turned to dust, her forgiveness a myth as she ordered his name erased from her chronicles. William's victims, the soldiers who died with him, faded from memory, their bones a silent cry beneath Pevensey's ruins. His end mirrors the dark price of ambition, where a single act ignites a chain of retribution, where betrayal becomes a noose that strangles the soul. As a noble of high birth, he faced his own undoing, his sword a tool of both honor and horror. His grim collapse warns us that treachery's cost is paid in flesh and spirit, its shadow a reminder of the fragile boundary between glory and damnation. William de Warenne's fate was more than a death. It was a grim unraveling of a knight's ambition, carved in starvation and sealed by a curse's iron hand. His cries in Pevensey's ruins, the sores of his flesh, the shadow of Matilda's betrayal haunt history's depths, a testament to a warrior's fall into divine retribution. From Sussex's fields to the siege's despair, his life was a tapestry of loyalty and treachery, his demise a chilling echo that lingers in the past. His tale, a forgotten horror, burns bright amid the shadows of time. Crave more spine-chilling stories? Subscribe to Tales of Torment and dive into our next video about the gruesome fate of a medieval outcast. Don't let these dark secrets fade into the silence of history. Was William a traitor cursed by heaven or a victim of Matilda's wrath? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the shadows of the past.